And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. I hope you are having a wonderful morning this morning and a very happy day to each and every single one of you. We are inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, and Great Lakes Honda City comes to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. You can go and see them for sales and service Monday through Saturday. Let them know that DT sent you their way. And of course, you can get a sneak peek by going to GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Very happy to be here with you up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe as we hang out here on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. So however you're connected with the show, we thank you so much for tuning in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single week. I cannot thank you enough. Of course, today is a very special day because it's my birthday. And I'm very happy to be here and be able to celebrate with all of you. Don't worry, I took the day off after my birthday. I'm taking a break. I'm relaxing. I'm a big old Darkwing Duck fan. I'm a big kid at heart, as you all know, so I'm wearing my Darkwing Duck shirt today. It's filled with many Darkwing Duck characters. Darkwing's on the bottom here, though. This shirt is like, it's massive. It's like a giant poster. There we go, camera. Zoom it in. So, happy day to all of you. Happy to celebrate my birthday with you and celebrate my birthday with these awesome guests. I'm going to be hanging out inside of MonPausPopcorn.com's What's Poppin' with Murphalation Station for the Nation. We will be talking about the World Series. Perfect timing because the Jays and the Mariners again had to give you a crazy old game, and that game ended with the Jays going to the World Series, which I'm very, very excited about. And so we will be discussing that. I know that it means that my pick is wrong, but I don't care because I'm just really, really happy for the Blue Jays. They were the first game that I ever went to, the first team that I ever cheered for. So I very much am excited to see them make it and, just kind of brings me full circle to my childhood. So happy to see that for the Blue Jays. And we'll also talk about the Dodgers, whatever. They're from that division, that NL West. So I'll never be a Dodgers fan, but I definitely respect the heck out of them. And then Murph and I will be unveiling our top 25. It's the first time we've ever done it on the show. Unveiling our nation's top 25. The AP's got it. The coaches poll has it. The college football playoff eventually this year is going to do it. But Murph and I are going to unveil ours. We have not seen each other's top 25 lists. I have no idea what he's got. He doesn't know what I have. So it's going to be very interesting this morning to see how similar and or different they are. And of course, very happy to be having our Bearcat Breakroom and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Binghamton University Bearcats. I fought for many years to have it, so I'm happy to be able to do that on my birthday. Neel, Bhattacharjee, the head coach of the Binghamton Bearcats women's soccer team, and one of their student athletes, Miss Paige Luke, joined me after the team had a top 2 finish heading into the postseason for the America East, solidifying that they will spend part of the postseason at home. And we'll do the ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli's, and we will have the opportunity to speak on the topic, the value of a day. So I'm looking forward to doing that with you as well. With that being said, Murph is with me picture in picture, and we are here to talk about many things, as I addressed before, including a very large congratulations and a God bless to the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. Murph, how are you?
I am doing well. Feeling a little under the weather from the weekend down in Florida. Saw a friend of mine get married. So congratulations to the newlywed Theobalds. Also, happy birthday to you, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So very much appreciate it. I hope you feel better. I'm happy you got to go down to Florida and have some fun. It seems like many of us are under the weather in these last couple weeks. So hopefully,
I don't know. Is COVID coming back or something?
No, we're not. No, we're not talking about COVID.
No, we're not doing. We're not doing that again.
We're not doing that again.
It's just an overblown cold, folks. We know that.
Yeah. So it's another flu, and
I might just. I mean, who knows? I might have COVID.
All right.
Don't know, don't care. Not getting a test.
Another flu and man-made. So happy to be here with you all. Happy to be hanging out inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, and happy to be celebrating my birthday here, doing what I love and loving what I do. So with that being said, Murph, we know that the World Series was decided last night, and the Blue Jays found a way. The Mariners kept everybody on their seat for 15 innings in the series beforehand, and in that series in the ALDS, they just kept everybody waiting against the Tigers, and now they've done it against the Blue Jays, but this time they were not on the right side of it. Thoughts on the Toronto Blue Jays making it in the American League and the number one seed of the American making it all the way to the end?
It's impressive, man. The Blue Jays were not the team that, many of us were expecting to go to the World Series. I don't think anybody picked the Blue Jays to go to the World Series, and sure enough, they're going to be one of the final two teams standing, and their pitching staff has been great. Vlad Jr.'s had an outstanding postseason. Ernie Clement has been unbelievable in the postseason. I mean, who had ever heard of Ernie Clement until, about 2 weeks ago, when he dominated against the Yankees, and he did great in the championship series as well against the Mariners. But their pitching's been good. Their lineup's been hitting. George Springer, we didn't know if he was going to be able to play with that knee injury, but he came back in game 6 and 7. Springer hits what ends up being the game-winning home run in the bottom of the 7th. And the Blue Jays take a 4-3 lead, and that was all she wrote. I think in terms of which team is more capable of beating the Dodgers, I'd kind of give that more to the Toronto Blue Jays. So I think in terms of which team is more positioned to beat LA,
Yeah,
the Blue Jays were that team of the two that were left in the American League. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think Vlad is really proving why he deserved that big contract that he got in the offseason from the Blue Jays. He's going to be a Blue Jay for life. He was born in Canada when his father, Vlad Guerrero Sr., was playing for the Montreal Expos. So I'm sure it would mean a lot to him to bring another championship to Canada. Because it is technically where he was born and where he, grew up for a little bit of his childhood. But yeah, and the Dodgers have been sitting on their tails for, God, it'll have been like a week and a half by the time they play game 1 on Friday. So who knows if the Dodgers are going to be rusty or if they're going to be ready or well rested and ready to play. I'm really looking forward to it. This will be a very fun World Series. Dodgers versus an American League East team again. Maybe we see things go the other way this time. One for the good guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, the Dodgers, like you said, they're back. Last year, they fought in the World Series and won over American League East, and that being over the American League East New York Yankees, and now in the American League East facing off against the Toronto Blue Jays. So like you said, same division, represented different team, and let's see if there's going to be a different outcome that comes from this as we head into this World Series for 2025. As we know, 2024 was all Dodgers, and the Los Angeles Dodgers, of course, they have the talent. They look like an all-star team. Their roster is an all-star team, and Yamamoto's been absolute. I mean, their pitching rotation is sick. Freddie Freeman was so good last year, and we know he started off the World Series with a grand slam, and that's how they won Game 1 against the ace, Garrett Cole, and hopefully, Garrett, you're getting better, healing up, and we'll get to see you soon. And so, I mean, the one thing I can say about the Dodgers and the Blue Jays that I'm paralleling here is the Dodgers have an awesome bullpen, and we know they can hit the ball. And the Blue Jays have shown that they got a bullpen, and we also know that the Blue Jays can hit the ball. The Blue Jays have had multiple games in this postseason where they've gotten 10 or more runs. And it was actually in their series previous, when you take a look at what they had done, it was like, if you look at the Blue Jays' road to get to where they were to get into the ALCS, they were losing games where they scored under 10 runs, winning games where they scored at least 10 runs, except for like one game where they had gotten the victory. So we saw that they would blow up offensively and just have a fantastic outing, and that they were able to win it. So, I mean, listen, if their pitching can show up, and we know that before the trade deadline, they went and got another pitcher to add to their bullpen, to add to what they can do, to add to that rotation. So we talk about the Dodgers and we speak on pitching and those bats just being incredible. And the Blue Jays pitching and their bats being incredible got them here. So now we're going to get to see two good teams with two good offenses and two good rotations. And let's see who can make it happen. Is it the team from the north, or is it the team whose payroll could pay off the debt of California?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously this time last year, I was still reeling from the Game 6 loss, from the Mets Game 6 loss to the Dodgers in the NLCS, and still kind of processing that whole thing. But they've been done for almost a month at this point. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really competitive series. I think this series does make it back to Toronto, with the Blue Jays going to be hosting games 1 and 2 north of the border. And I do think this series will make it back to Canada. The question is going to be who comes out on top. As much as I want to pick the Blue Jays because I think it's the most fun outcome, I think they're the team that I want to see win. Logically, to me, it just does not make any sense. So to me, I'm picking Dodgers in 6.
Yeah.
And I think Shohei Ohtani is going to be your World Series MVP because, we didn't even highlight it. How about that Game 4 that he had? 3 home runs, 10 strikeouts on the mound, picks up the win. Like, that dude is proving why he might be the greatest to ever play the game of baseball. We are sitting here witnessing that, folks. Just appreciate that a little bit longer, because we're not going to have this forever. Remember when Mike Trout was doing all of the Mike Trout things, winning back-to-back MVPs and, putting up these unreal seasons? Then he starts getting hurt. He's not the same player anymore. We basically took him for granted. Let's not do that with Shohei Ohtani. Let's enjoy Shohei Ohtani while we see him. I expect the Dodgers to go back-to-back here. I really do. They'll be the first team since the Yankees in, 98, 99, 2000 to win more than one in a row. Yeah. I'm going to say Dodgers in 6. I want to see the Blue Jays win, but I can't logically, my brain is telling me, you can't pick against the Dodgers. You just can't.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people's heads are going to say Dodgers, hearts are going to say Blue Jays, and that's just where we lie. And I've been getting a bunch of birthday messages, but one of my favorite ones I just got, which was a goat with a bunch of party favor things, and it says happy birthday, and it says happy birthday Uncle Dan, and it's from my godson Noah. So thank you.
I love that.
Thank you, buddy. I love him. He's the best. So I talk about him all the time. I hope he knows that. But yeah, this is what he just sent me. So that's my god.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's my godson. That's my godson Noah. He'll always be a little baby to me. Love him so much, and so proud of him. So if you're listening, buddy, I love you more than I can ever tell you. And please, and same to Ari, and same to Sequoia and Dakota and Carter up in heaven with a K, Carter here on earth, Emily, Carly, Gracie, LJ, Lorelai. I love y'all. So thank you for making me a very, very, very proud uncle. I forgot a very. And I love y'all so much. So yeah, I mean, listen, the heads are going Dodgers, the hearts are going Blue Jays, and I'm going to cheer for the Blue Jays in the comfort of my own home, I'm never going to cheer for the Dodgers because I'm a Diamondback. And, I mean, this is the thing about
Fair enough.
this is the thing about the Dodgers. Okay. I I have all the respect in the world for them. Right. I genuinely can't say enough about them. Like, as, as somebody who's just sitting watching baseball, appreciating the sport, like chills when I think of Freddie Freeman, when I think of, obviously Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani. I mean, there Mookie Betts. I mean, there's guys that are on this roster that you just look at and you watch and you say to yourself, like, this is, and Will Smith again, another Will Smith in the World Series once again, and Sasaki has been awesome. So I can't say enough about this team. Like,
Wait, I forgot about that stat.
like
We've had a Will Smith in the World Series each of the last 5 years now.
Yeah, that's right. So Will Smith, baby, and so yeah, I mean, and George Springer. I mean, listen, he might be now the most famous Springer over the one that always talked about whether or not you were the father. And so, a 3-run home run for George Springer springs the Blue Jays into the World Series. And, that's, I mean, on the Blue Jays side of it, when I mention these names that stick out for me for the Los Angeles Dodgers, then you look at the Blue Jays and you say, I mean, you go through this series with the Mariners and everything to get to where they are. And obviously you mentioned Springer for what he did, especially last night. But then you have Varsho, who used to be a Diamondback. And then you have, Vlad Guerrero Jr. And Vlad Guerrero, watched him play. Now Jr. watching him play. And, I mentioned that move that they made before the 2025 deadline, the trade deadline, and they brought in Shane Bieber. And Shane Bieber in this game, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 errors, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and there was a home run that was hit off of him. But, he's going to come into this thing looking to be a guy that can help them get it done. And then Hoffman was able to end this for everybody and get the save. So, I mean, this is going to be a great World Series. I'm super excited. And, yeah, I mean, my head's going to tell me Dodgers. You said Dodgers in 6, and I'm going to say Dodgers in 7. I'm going to say they go all the way, like we get all the way to the end.
I'd love to see that.
My heart.
Game 7 to the World Series, especially if we have a Game 7 of the World Series where Toronto has a chance to win it and Vlad Guerrero Jr. has his Joe Carter moment.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay. So, like I said, heads go with Dodgers, hearts go with Blue Jays. Murph said Dodgers in 6. You know what? I don't care if I'm wrong. I've had enough predictions right in my life. I'm saying Blue Jays in 7. I'm 40 years old.
Love it.
It was my first team that I ever watched. It was my first team I cheered for. I will always have a soft spot for the Blue Jays. I was 7 years old when I went to Toronto and I went to the Sky Dome. I saw Joe Carter do what Joe Carter does. I saw them beat the Twins 11-2. I was there with my mom and my dad. I still have the bat from that game that had all like the signatures around it. So I'm going Blue Jays in 7 because if I'm wrong, I genuinely don't care. So I
so hope you're right.
I
so hope you're right.
Yeah.
My head's telling me you're going to be wrong, but I so hope you're right.
Yeah. You're going Dodgers in 6. I'm going Jays in 7. Listen, I picked the Blue Jays to get to their last series, but I picked the Mariners to beat them, and I don't want to pick against the Blue Jays again. So I'm not gonna. So if I'm wrong, baby girl, I'm gonna be on this mountain eating a turkey sandwich, looking out at the sun.
Die on that hill, man.
I'm
on that hill.
I'm gonna be up on this hill, looking over at the sun, enjoying my time, feeling that breeze, sitting in the grass, hanging out with my dog Lily. I'm good with it. So I'm going Jays in 7. So that's, yeah, you know what? That's where I'm at. And the way these series have been going, I'm like, man, it might be 8 or 9 games. These teams don't want to stop playing, but it's awesome, and I'm excited for it. And with that being said, we're perfectly at the midpoint here of hour 1. We'll come back. Murph and I are going to unveil our top 25. We've never done it here on the show before. We will be unveiling our top 25 in ranked order of how we believe the nation is right now in college football in the FBS heading into week 9. The AP has given their thoughts. Crazily, we've agreed on many things. So the AP has given their thoughts. The coaches poll has given their thoughts. I don't know what type of drug has been put into the air vents when the coaches vote, but they have stunned me for weeks this year. And so we will discuss our top 25. We will unveil it, and Murph will give his, I will give mine, and then we'll discuss right after this inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I had to fight myself from doing the We Back Again by Mace. So happy to be back here with you where sports meets life on my birthday edition of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Man, it's good to wake up on your birthday and do what you love and be your own boss. And that's because God is great. So we are here with DT and Murphy hanging out inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. It's time to unveil our top 25. I can tell you that like my top 6, I'm like, whatever, fine, good. My top 10, it was a little bit of shuffle because I had given a preliminary one before the AP and the coaches poll came out, and I was kind of like, this is where my head's at. I adjusted some things here in the official unveiling, and then I was fine until I got to like 8, between 17 and 21. I was like, do I put this team in? Do I take this team out? Do I drop this team? There's certain teams that I don't like. The committees just have a lot of I don't know, belief that these teams are going to wake up at some point. But, you know, looking at these records and whatnot, there was some of these teams where I'm like, I can't justify that they should be here. And I can't justify that they should be in certain places. There's a lot of 5-2 teams that are in the top 25 right now. And just trying to figure out, you know, where these teams should sit at and who I'm bouncing out of the thing has been interesting. But yeah, I would say like between 17 and 21 was where I was really sitting here trying to figure it out. So Murph, how do you want to do it? You want to go, should we go 25-1 or 1-25?
That's up to you.
I think we should do 1.
Because the bottom of my rankings, 20. That's where things get interesting for me.
Yeah, I think we should do 1-25 because people kind of know where we're going to go in the top few. So I think we should do the top first and unveil it that way. And man, this like really.
I did a lot of shuffling. I will tell you that right now. I did a lot of shuffling based on what the AP, because I went team by team, who they've played, who they've beaten, who they've lost to, and that's how I did it. So I somewhat agree with the AP, but I got some surprises in store.
Yeah, I think the last team for me to put in, which was a team that I put in at 22, that it's like my last ditch hope for them because they are a 2-loss team. They're in the top 25, but I don't have them ranked where other people have them ranked. And so what I'm going to do here is I will defer to you, Murph, to give us your top 3, and then I will give my top 3.
Well, I think number 1 is an obvious one. I guarantee we both are going
Navy,
to
Murph.
We
Murph said Navy.
No, it's Ohio State. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the obvious one, and right. You know, everybody kind of knew that one was coming. Haven't done anything to make me think that they're not the number 1 team in the country right now with how good their defense is.
Yeah.
Their offense hasn't had to really do all that much because their defense has played so well. Number 2, I went a little outside the box here, and I jumped this team over 2 undefeated teams, and I think you're going to be shocked.
Okay.
But I really like what they're doing right now. As much as it kills me, Alabama. As much as that kills me.
Okay.
With what Alabama has done.
Okay.
With their schedule so far, with who they've played and who they've beaten. They have beaten, literally their only loss was Florida State in week 1. And I'm not going to hold that against them too much because Florida State, you know, for a point this year was a pretty good team. Obviously, they've fallen back a little bit, you know, but then they beat Wisconsin, was being a good Big Ten team, as much now. They beat Georgia by 3. They beat Alabama by multiple scores. They beat Missouri. They beat Tennessee. You see where I'm going here? That's 4 consecutive top 15 teams.
Yeah.
So to me, that with what they've done, that puts them at number 2 for me. I arguably could have gone number 1, but I didn't want to jump in my head up Ohio State just yet. And then number 3 is Indiana. I was impressed with that team. They played really well against Oregon. I think they absolutely deserve to be in the top 3 at the moment, and you know they're number 2 in the AP right now. Like I said, disagree with that a little bit, but you know we're gonna see what happens when they match up with Ohio State, likely in the Big Ten championship, because I don't see them losing another game the rest of the way.
Yeah, you know, and I don't see them losing another game either because they have such a crap schedule. So, I mean, when you look at the
the teams you're supposed to beat,
right? But I mean, the schedule just I'm looking at these Big Ten schedules and they suck. They really do. When you look at what the SEC has to go through. So
why do you think I jumped Alabama ahead of them?
That's right. Well, and I appreciate that, Murph. It's about time. So I'm going to tell you what I did here, because originally my thought was to go a little different, but I'm not going to. And so I'm adjusting in the 11th hour actually here. But when we take a look at this, my top 3, Ohio State, I did toy with the idea of taking them out of the number 1 spot. Now, if Miami had won, then I probably would have put Miami at number 1, but Miami lost to Louisville. And so I'm keeping Ohio State at 1. But again, Ohio State's got 1 win of merit to me. That was against Texas in week 1. And Texas was the number 1 team in the country at the time. And so, beating Texas is great, and I respect it, and I appreciate it. And obviously, we've seen Texas is not as good as people expected them to be so far, but Ohio State really hasn't done anything from then for me. The thing about Ohio State is this is what happens every year. If they win one crucial game, they get put at number 1, and as long as they don't lose from there, they get left there. And that's where they are right now. And so I'm going to keep them there. But I'm going to put Alabama at number 2. And I'm going to agree with you here. Alabama's 6-1. There was people that probably wanted to fire Kalen DeBoer after last season. They didn't make the college football playoff. How dare they?
And after week 1.
Yeah. And right. And I was talking to a fan, an Alabama fan, and she made very clear with me. She said, this was before the 12-team playoff. This was in the 14 playoff. And she said to me flat out, she said, if we don't win a national championship, it's a bad season. If we're not going 15-0 and so on and so forth.
It's a Yankee fan right there.
Yeah, right. So she's like, it's a bad season. So Alabama to me is
how hard it is to win a championship?
Extremely difficult, but Nick Saban made it look easy. And like you said, they haven't lost since they lost to Florida State. And they beat Louisiana Monroe, sounds like a team Penn State would play. Then they beat Wisconsin, and then they beat Georgia 24-21 on the road, and that was the beginning of them beating 4 ranked teams in a row, teams that I believe should be ranked. There are some teams that are ranked that I didn't think should be ranked. Illinois, who seemingly has given the Big Ten a bunch of, whoever beats Illinois, it's considered a quality win. I don't buy it at all. But beating Georgia on the road, beating Vanderbilt, who's a very good team this year, beating Missouri on the road, who has not sold me yet, but they did beat Missouri, and then beating a Tennessee team who now has 2 losses, but I think that Tennessee team is still dangerous. I got to see them live, Joey Aguilar, and I just feel like, if Tennessee can keep themselves from having another loss, there could be something to be said about Tennessee at the end of things. So my Ohio State, number 1, my Alabama, 2, and Indiana is my 3. I thought about putting Texas A&M in there. I didn't put Texas A&M in there because I don't believe that Texas A&M has a win better than Indiana beating Oregon. And that was the difference for me. So it's Ohio State, it's Fly Slamma Jamma Bama, and it's the Indiana Hoosiers, which is very fair because who do they even play besides Oregon? Let's go 4, 5, and 6, Murph. What do you got?
So I got Texas A&M at 4. Another SEC team that has been pretty good. Having seen them play a couple already in that game against Florida, they look good. Haven't played as competitive a schedule yet as Alabama, which is the reason I had Alabama leapfrog them. But they're about to enter that tough part of their schedule. They play LSU, then they go to LSU, they go to Missouri, and then they host South Carolina. And then they have a game against Stanford before closing out the year with rival Texas. So looking at that particular team, I think 4 makes sense. I could have justified Georgia going ahead of them.
Yeah.
But I didn't simply simply because I was looking at Georgia and they just beat Ole Miss. But I want to see what Georgia does against Florida. I want to see how bad of a beatdown that's going to be.
Yeah.
Although, and I can finally say this after years of misery, Billy Napier is gone. Hallelujah.
It's either gonna
to get that out there.
It's either gonna be Dan Mullen to me or James Franklin. I got those guys on my list right now.
Well, first of all, there's no way in hell Dan Mullen is coming back. As much as I want him back, there's no chance he would come back to Florida. He would basically tell the the athletic director, yeah, I'm just going to go somewhere else.
Maybe if they had another AD. Maybe if the AD changed.
I mean, Franklin would be on my. I mean, Dan Mullen would still be at the top of my list, like the top of my list.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, to me, I mean, obviously you want Kiffin, you want Franklin's up there, Coach O. I'd love to steal Joe Brady from the Bills, coach. Okay. There's a lot of names on the list that I'd love to see, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Number 6, I went very much against the AP here, and I left Miami at 6. I still think Miami's a really good team. They've won some big games this year. They are probably going to dominate the ACC. I know they just lost to Louisville, who was a good team. I don't see anybody in the ACC beating them again the rest of the year. I mean, Stanford stinks, even though they're a Big Ten team. Or wait, are they Big Ten?
No, Stanford's ACC.
They went to the ACC, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did.
They beat Florida. They beat Florida State. Man. They beat Florida State at 2:00 in the morning.
Man. Yeah. They play Stanford. I don't see SMU beating them. I don't see Syracuse beating them. NC State, no. Virginia Tech, no. Pitt, no. So they're gonna walk it. They're gonna walk right into the ACC championship, and I think they would wipe the floor with Georgia Tech personally. But that's why I'm gonna leave them at 6. I don't think you should punish them too badly for losing to Louisville. They absolutely need to be, lowered in the rankings. You lose to an unranked team. You need to fall.
Yeah.
But I don't like the fall to 9 in the AP poll, so I put them at 6.
Yeah, Miami's only played 6 games. How about? So I have in my 4, 5, and 6. My 4, as you could guess it, because I said I thought about putting them at 3. My Texas A&M is at 4. They are 7-0. They had to fight and claw their way to defeat Arkansas, but they did win. Georgia is my 5, and I toyed with the idea of putting Georgia higher. I think they may end higher. And then Oregon is my 6. And so Oregon at 6-1. I still find Oregon to be a very dangerous team. They got that one loss to Indiana, but I still believe that Oregon in the college football playoff is going to do some awesome things. So I did keep them at 6. Let's go 7 through 10, Murph. What do you got?
So I took hopefully the future coach of the Florida Gators, Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss team at number 7. Again, another very good football team that just lost their first game of the year to Georgia. So I can't get on too much for that. Again, they need to go down somewhere. So I'll move them down a couple of spots at 7. We got Oregon at 8. Like I said, still a good team. I agree with you that they're going to be there when the playoff rolls around. I did Vanderbilt at 9, and we put Georgia Tech at 10.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the potential Florida head coach hires, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like some of these people in 3 years are going to
be Kiffin. I want it to be Kiffin. Yeah. It's not going to be Kiffin.
But I'm looking at this, and I'm like, man, the SEC is just they give you very little time, and I'm looking.
No, I don't want Alex Golesh.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at Eli Drinkwitz, and I'm like, they would probably fire him in 3 years. So Drinkwitz, the head coach. Exactly, Missouri's head coach, because Missouri hasn't done anything this year. But let's discuss. So my 7 through 10, Ole Miss, I agree with you. The Lane train continues to go. I don't think he's leaving for Florida. My number 8 is Georgia Tech. And Georgia Tech to me, and I was proud of the AP in the coaches poll. They put Georgia Tech at 7. I was wondering if Georgia Tech was going to crack the top 10, and they did, and they went higher than even I had them. So my initial thought was 10. I have them at 8 now. I have them one step above Vanderbilt. So Georgia Tech still undefeated at 7-0. I think Georgia Tech is a very dangerous team. I thought that when I came out of the ACC kickoff. I'm continuing to think that it has only grown. And they had a trip 'em game against Wake Forest, but they came through it just like Texas did over Kentucky. So you can't fault them for that, just like they don't fault the SEC when the SEC has moments where you got some close games here. So Georgia Tech's been gutting it out, and maybe it doesn't look pretty, but they win. I love watching, Brent Key coaching, and man, Haynes King is just a friggin' monster. And when he said it's to hell with Georgia at the beginning of the season, just kind of made you feel like if that's how he feels about Georgia, that guy's going to come with a sword with all these games. So Georgia Tech, I got them at 8. I think they're a lot more dangerous than people think. And then number 9, I have Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has very much impressed me this season. They have 1 loss, and Vandy, to me, is a team that has done such a tremendous job to get out of the basement of the SEC. Them and Missouri have worked to do it. Vanderbilt's done it in a big way. Vanderbilt, to me, is a different 6-1 team than Missouri. You'll see that in where I have Missouri. And number 10 is Miami. I think Miami should be a top 10 team, but I couldn't argue them above Georgia Tech right now, and because I think Georgia Tech could beat them head-to-head. And then Vanderbilt, I just think is they're too dangerous, and they're a very, very, very exciting team to watch. I think Miami is too, but, Miami losing to Louisville, I had to drop them a little bit, so I drop them from 2 to 10, but I keep them in the top 10. Let's go 11 through 15, Murph. What do you got?
So we got another undefeated team at 11 with BYU. I was almost looking, in a way, I was almost looking to see how far I could drop BYU, but I really couldn't go further down than 11.
Yeah.
Just based on, the teams below them. And I'm like, you know what? I really can't justify it making them go any lower. So I got BYU 11, Oklahoma at 12. I still think they're a good team, even though they got blown out by Texas in the Red River rivalry. Mm-hmm. They bounced back positively against South Carolina. They play Ole Miss this week. They go into, oh my goodness, their last 5 games of the year, hosting Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama, hosting Missouri, hosting LSU. That's last 5 games. That is brutal. If they come through that with only 1 more loss, they will be in the college football playoff, whether they are in the SEC championship or not. I didn't even realize that. I put Virginia at 13. I liked what they've done a little bit more than the AP has. I mean, beating Florida State, beating Louisville. To me, those are quality wins. Seeing Louisville just beat Miami, I think gave that win a little more merit to me for Virginia. Yeah. So I put them up at 13. And Notre Dame at 14. Again, was kind of looking to see how far down I could drop them, but there wasn't really, I couldn't justify the teams behind them to go above them. So I put Notre Dame at 14, and then I got Texas Tech at 15.
Yeah. Notre Dame, one of the only teams in the country that gets credit for losing. So I'm going to go with number 11, Oklahoma. Now, like you said, Oklahoma's got a dangerous road the rest of the way. Got like Wile E. Coyote TNT right next to the train, but, Boomer Sooner for now. I got him at 11. South Florida at 12, also 6-1. South Florida coming into this season playing 3 top 25 teams, knocking 2 of those 3 out of the top 25. And since losing to Miami, this team has done nothing but put on an onslaught of points. Their retaliation road, after losing 49-12 to Miami on the road, they scored 63 against South Carolina State, 63-14, 54 against Charlotte, 54-26, at North Texas, who's bowl bound, 63-36, and against FAU, 48-13. They have shown that their offense is incredible, and I understand it's not the same competition as Miami, but you still got to find ways to score. You still got to put up points. And even teams that are supposed to beat them, like those Big Ten teams, are not putting up 50, 60 points on a Maryland or a Purdue. So shout out to South Florida. Their offense has definitely retaliated since they struggled to score against Miami. I have them at number 12. BYU I have at 13. They haven't sold me. I know they're 7-0, but they have not sold me. And I know they finally got their quality win this past week when they defeated Utah 24-21. But Portland State, Stanford, at East Carolina, at Colorado, West Virginia, at Arizona, Maybe I give you a little bit of love for West Virginia, but they're not who they used to be. Maybe I give you a little bit for Arizona. But the win that they, like you said, you wanted to see how far you could drop them. I put them at 13 at 7-0. They play They play Texas Tech coming up. They got Iowa State, who's not ranked anymore, at Texas Tech. TCU, that I'd still consider a good game if they beat them, despite the fact that TCU's not ranked right now. At Cincinnati, if they're able to win that. And UCF's unranked, but UCF's had a good season and done some good things, beating some teams already. So they do have a road that I could raise them a little bit, but BYU's at 13, Virginia's at 14, and Louisville's at 15. And why are they there? Well, Virginia defeated Louisville. That's Louisville's only loss of the season, so that's why Virginia's above Louisville. But I've respected Virginia and what they've done at 6-1, and Louisville defeating Miami deserves to be in the top 15 because I believe that Miami is a top 10 team and could be higher. So Louisville, I don't know why the hell they weren't ranked before this week, but they're in a place right now where they're a top 15 team to me. I told you going into the season, they very well could be playing in the ACC title game. So I have Louisville at 15. Give me 16 through 20.
So 16, I went Missouri. Another one where, just seeing what they've done so far this year, like in the SEC, like South Carolina has been ranked at times this year. Auburn, you can never sleep on them.
Yeah.
Lost by 3 to Alabama. You can't get on them too much for that. So, and they're about to hit a tough part of their schedule too. They got to go to Vanderbilt. They got to host Texas A&M. They play Mississippi State, who is no slouch this year. They play Oklahoma, and then they finish with Arkansas, who's had a tough year but has been, starting to get a little bit better in recent years compared to what they used to be. Obviously, they were very good, but had a down stretch for quite a few years. So you got Mizzou at 16, LSU at 17. To me, LSU is just not ranked high enough. Their 2 losses are to Ole Miss, who we both agree is a top 10 team, and Vanderbilt, who we both believe is a top 10 team, by a combined 10 points. I'm not going to hold that against them. I'm gonna make them my second highest ranked 2-loss team at 17. Tennessee, I have 18. Again, it's their losses to Georgia and Alabama. Again, 2 top 5 teams.
Yeah.
Alabama beat them pretty handily, and then Georgia they lost to in overtime. I'm not going to hold that against them too much. 19, I went Louisville. Again, I kind of agree with you that Louisville probably should have been ranked coming into this week. Now having that win over Miami, they absolutely need to be in the top 25. Couldn't justify going as high as you did, but I understand why you put them as high as you did. And and another team I tried to drop, but I couldn't go more lower than 20 was South Florida. I couldn't let them go lower than 20, and to me, I still don't really particularly like those 2 wins at the beginning of the year. Yeah, they were ranked teams, but both teams have proven to be not very good this year.
You're so bitter, Murph. You're so bitter.
I am still a little bitter.
I
am still bitter. But I also I get what they've been doing with all the big wins, but again, they've been playing the bottom dwellers of the American. The bottom of the American is really bad.
So is the Big Ten.
Really bad.
So is the Big Ten. So is the Big
But
Ten.
the bottom of the Big Ten would still beat the bottom of the American. That's
Give me Rutgers. Give me Maryland. Give me Purdue.
Bottom.
All right, give me them.
Give me Rutgers. Rutgers versus Charlotte would be a pretty good game, but I still think Rutgers would win. That's just to me where I'm.
Charlotte's college football program.
I couldn't really go any lower. Definitely didn't want to go any higher.
Charlotte's college football program is less than 20 years old, by the way. So they're very young. I think they're 15 years old, the Charlotte football program, in general. I think they might be one of the youngest, if not the youngest. I know UTSA is young as well. So your 20 was what, Murph?
South Florida.
South Florida, okay. So my 16 through 20. Texas Tech, they're my number 16 team. Texas Tech, to me, has beaten Utah. what else? And so I'm not sold on the Big 12 this year. I'm really not. I mean, Texas Tech, BYU, I mean, they haven't done enough to show me. So the AP dropped them 7 spots. I dropped them 9. So they're still in the top 20, but I got Texas Tech at 16. It was hard for me to figure out where to put them. 17 is Texas. They're 5-2. I still think they're dangerous. They dropped in the poll, in the AP and the coaches poll. They beat Kentucky, but it was barely. Kentucky has played spoiler in recent years. So, I don't think of Kentucky as a horrible team because Kentucky likes to do this. They played a baseball game against Georgia last year, 13-12. This game was 16-13. So I'm going to put Texas at number 17. I think they're better than that, but they are 5-2. I put Tennessee at 18 at 5-2. And like I said, Joey Aguilar, I still think there's more left in the tank of this Tennessee team. And so this was where, like I told you, my 17 through 21 was tough. My number 19 team is Cincinnati. Cincinnati was good a few years back when they were in the American. They found a way to be good again. They're 6-1 right now. They are also in the Big 12. They still need to show me something. But to me, putting them in this 19, where in the AP, I think the AP has them at 21. And so, 21 in the AP, 21 in the coaches poll. I got them at 19 here just because the teams below them, I couldn't argue above them. And number 20 is Missouri. I mean, Cincinnati and Missouri are both 6-1. Missouri hasn't shown me anything yet. I'm still waiting. It's like Texas Tech with me. I want to give Missouri credit, but I look at their schedule and I'm struggling with it. Now, they lost to Alabama by 3. I know that, it's a good game. They beat Auburn on the road. Auburn typically plays spoiler. But, South Carolina hasn't been good this year. They blew out UMass. Everybody does. They beat Louisiana. They beat Kansas, who's a non-factor this year. And they beat Central Arkansas. So I have them at 20. Give me 21 through 25, Murph.
So my 24 and 25, you're going to love one, you're going to hate one. I'll just preface it with that. Okay. 21 for me was Texas. I thought about putting them above South Florida. I couldn't do it. Just not enough. Arch just has not looked good. This team, yes, I still believe this team can be dangerous.
Yeah.
And Arch is starting to finally play like the number 1 recruit that he was supposed to be. But I couldn't get him above, South Florida there.
Yeah.
I got Cincinnati at number 22. They are, again, a team in the Big 12 that I really struggled with 20 to 25.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at teams outside the top 25, and I'm like, I can't find any. I couldn't really find teams to put in, and I still did, but
yeah,
I couldn't really find teams that I liked more. So I put Cincinnati at 22. USC I left at 23. I still think they're a decent team this year. Now I believe they're 5-2, right? Something like that.
USC, yeah.
They're a productive team. Again, they should be in the top 25 over Arizona State. They should be in the top 25 over Illinois. They should be in the top 25 over Michigan. There's teams that I put USC ahead of, and I'm sure they're technically ranked 26th right now. I think they are above the teams that are currently ranked 23 through 25 in the AP poll. 24, you're going to hate. They are, according to the AP, nowhere near the top 25.
Okay.
But I think they are a much better team than people give them credit for.
Okay.
And that's the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa, just so far this year, and I'm trying to pull it up right here, come on. Since they're not actually in the top 25, I got to go the weird way to actually find where they're. Here we go. Here's Iowa.
They're 5-2.
5-2, sorry.
Yeah, they're 5-2, and they lost to Iowa State, and they lost to Indiana. They don't have a top 25 win.
They don't. You're right. But they've got what I would consider to be a decent win over Penn State. I know Penn State hasn't been good this year, but I'd still consider that a decent win.
Okay.
You know, you lose to Indiana by 5.
Yeah.
Indiana's not exactly been a slouch this year. I have them ranked number 3 for a reason. And Iowa State, again, that's a tough game. They lose by 3 points. I'm not going to hold that against them. They are a better team than people give them credit for. Now, if they get blown out by Oregon or by Minnesota, all right, fine. I'll knock them out of the top 25.
Yeah.
But to me, they are a better team than people give them credit for. I firmly believe that after watching the game against Penn State. 25 is a team you're going to love because it wouldn't be like me to rank this team 25 because they have not beaten anybody. But to me, my number 25 team, Navy.
Say it.
I put Navy in the top 25. I looked at and I was trying to find another undefeated team. Well, they're not undefeated anymore, but
yeah.
I was trying to find another I clicked on Army. Hang on. That's why I saw okay. But I was trying to pick another undefeated team into the top 25 and I'm like, let's throw Navy in there. And I know you'd like that. But again, they have not beaten anybody. They've literally played a whole bunch of nobodies. VMI, UAB, Tulsa, Rice, Air Force, and Temple. They've beaten a bunch of garbage. But I'm going to give them some credit and put them in the top 25 because, and only because, I think they could beat South Florida.
And they got 2 big games coming up back-to-back, November 8th against Notre Dame, at Notre Dame, and November 15th against South Florida. So my 21 through 25, my 21, Notre Dame. Why? Because they beat USC and knocked them out. Nothing else. They lost their other top 25 games. I know they didn't lose by much. So I gave them a little credit.
Combined 4 points, but okay.
I know it was 4 points. They still lost. So I'm not putting them in the top whatever. I mean, the committee's got them. The AP and the coaches want to put them in the top 10 almost. But I have them at 21. They did finally get a top 25 win. And I do think that Notre Dame can beat teams that are above them. So with the record of 5-2, I am giving them a path to rise, but they got to show it to me. LSU is 22. LSU is on their last leg. They could very well drop out of my poll. This was hard for me. If Memphis was undefeated, they would have had this spot, but LSU has it. 23, Navy. Navy at 6-0. They've beaten the teams in front of them. They've done what a lot of Big Ten teams have done, which is beat teams that stink or beat teams that don't have good records. So if Navy was in the Big Ten, they'd probably be in the top 10. But Navy is 6-0. They're 23. And, of course, it's a little facetious there, but, was trying to just state a fact. Utah's my 24. Utah's 5-2. Teams that have beaten Utah have risen up the rankings here. And so I had to give Utah a little bit of credit for being where they're at. If you're going to credit teams for beating them, if you're going to credit a team for that being their only top 25 win, then let's give Utah a little bit of credit. And Arizona State's my 25. In Arizona State, to me, again, another team that if you're going to give credit to them, or if you're going to give credit for beating them, then give credit to them with their record of 5-2. And so Arizona State, I think, should be, they got them at 24. I got them at 25. They just beat Texas Tech. So why are they in above USC? Because their top 25 win is against a top 7 team, and USC's top 25 win is not. So USC is just outside for me. Arizona State has a better win against the top 25, which is the only reason why they're there, and that's what it looks like. So my 5-2s, I migrated them all 17 or below, and there's no way in hell I'm putting Notre Dame above Tennessee and Texas right now. They got to show me, and I think they could. I really do, but not at the moment. They're not there. I think they're better than Navy. I think they're better than Utah. I think they're better than Arizona State. I think they're better than LSU, and that's why they are where they are. But those are our top 25. So with that being said, Murph unveiled his, I unveiled mine, and Murph, if you could put yours together in a little note thing here, I will share yours, and mine will also be shared. My top 25 going into week 9 is all here on my screen, so I will be sharing that with you all, and Murph will send his and we'll share it as well. And then some of you might be really excited and some of you might pull your hair out, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, this is our opinion, and this is built in factual evidence, and it was very difficult to do. It's not as easy as y'all think it is. So, Murph, thank you. It was not easy. And by the way, the College Football Playoff Committee is only going to have 12 this year. Randall McDaniel has stepped down or stepped away for this year due to personal reasons, so they will have an even number. They will have 12 people voting, not 13. I still don't think that's enough. I think there should be more than 13 in the room. So with that being said, Murph, thank you for your time. Appreciate you so very much, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you for spending my birthday episode with me.
Yes, sir, my friend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday, and we'll talk next week. We will talk next week, my friend.
Sounds good. Feel better.
I will try.
That coming from Murph here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. We're going to jump right into our double dose of the Bearcat Breakroom. I thank you all for your patience here with the Bearcat Breakroom on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, as we jump right into our conversation with Paige Luke, who's been patiently waiting here to get onto the broadcast as we are here in hour number 2. I knew that top 25 might take a little bit of time, and it did take some extra time, so we'll be looking to get Paige on the broadcast here hopefully within the next few minutes and celebrate the Binghamton University women's soccer team, the Bearcats, for having a top 2 finish in the America East as we head toward the postseason. And we're excited to have Paige on the broadcast as well as Neel Bhattacharjee. So looking forward to that coming up here, where sports truly meets that thing called life. So as we await Paige, we'll take a step aside for a fast break, and we'll be back on Wake Up Call right after this.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbeeville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Avicolli's restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicolli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on into the neighborhood spot Avicolli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to k9campground.com as well. That's K9, ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily? Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us on Wake Up Call. And coming up in just a little bit, we're going to have Neel Bhattacharjee, the head coach of the Binghamton Bearcats women's soccer team, joining us here where sports truly meets that thing called life. And very excited to have Neel joining the show in just a little bit, the head coach of the team that has a top 2 finish inside of the America East. So very much looking forward to having him on the broadcast. Neel Bhattacharjee, no stranger to the show, in the Bearcat Breakroom in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Binghamton University Bearcats. So looking forward to that coming up in just a few minutes here on Wake Up Call. And of course, it was fun to be able to have that opportunity with Murph to unveil our top 25. It's the first time we've ever done it on Wake Up Call, so let it be my birthday that we make some history. Now, last week I did put out my top 25, and I did share it, just kind of written wise, where you could take a look at it. But this is the first time that we've done an unveiling in the moment on the broadcast, and that Murph and I have both had a top 25, and that we shared them together, unveiling them to you as we unveiled them to each other simultaneously. So made some history here on Wake Up Call this morning, and I'll be sharing that top 25 with you, and literally just in the 11th hour changing it up and saying, okay, I'm going to move this team and going to put this team up here. And it was tough. Like I said, 17 to 21 was very difficult for me as far as, deciding who I was going to put in those spots that were right above the last couple spots. Because I knew, those 5-2 teams that I was going to have down there, but where was I going to put some of these schools? Where did I want to put Notre Dame and some of these other teams as far as, where was Utah going to go? Where was Texas going to go? And, Notre Dame being 5-2, Texas being 5-2, Tennessee being 5-2. I just feel like Tennessee and Texas are a little bit better than Notre Dame. But right now, the way that Texas played this past week, head-to-head, maybe Notre Dame wins that game. So that's where it gets difficult. But like I said, this gives an opportunity for some teams to rise and for some teams to show me. USC is not in my top 25 because Arizona State had a better win. Illinois is not in my top 25 because I don't know what the heck they've done this year. So, I look at Illinois and I say to myself, they lost to 2 top 25 teams. So again, Notre Dame in the Big Ten gets credit for losing to good teams. Not beating good teams, they get credit for losing to them. The only way I can justify putting you into the top 25 if you have losses are one of your wins against the top 25, right? You got 2 losses against the top 25, but do you have a win over the top 25? That's why Arizona State's in, right? But when I look at Illinois, they beat Western Illinois. They beat Duke. No, they're not ranked. They beat Western Michigan, so none of those 3 are ranked. They lost to Indiana 63-10. Blown out. So you can't even do that. Well, they only lost by a couple points. They got blown out. Oh, pardon me. They beat USC, Illinois did, but USC I don't think is a top 25 team. They were 21 at the time. They beat them 34-32, so they do have a top 25 win at the time of play. Then they beat Purdue, who's not good, and then they lost by almost 3 scores. Well, they lost by 3 scores to Ohio State. They lost by 18. So, almost 3 touchdowns. The rest of the way for Illinois is unranked Washington, unranked Rutgers, unranked Maryland, and then we have at unranked Wisconsin and unranked Northwestern. I know Paige Luke is trying to come on here, and so we're going to see the Zoom link wasn't working, so I'm going to try and send it again. We just got a message that the Zoom link for some reason wasn't going through, so we're going to try to get Paige on here. Wondering where Paige was here this morning, so hoping to have Paige Luke on the broadcast for a few minutes here, and we'll see if we can get her set. But yeah, going back to Illinois, I don't consider USC a top 25 team, and that's Illinois' only win. And outside of that, you can't even do they lost close to these other teams, because they didn't lose close to these other teams. They got blown out by Indiana, and they lost by 3 scores to Ohio State. So we have Paige here, so we're going to bring Paige in for a few minutes. I sent her a message, felt bad that our top 25 went a little bit long here today, and then I didn't hear back from her, so then I thought, oh my goodness, where is Miss Paige Luke? And now we have Paige from her iPhone, so we're very happy to have Paige.
The link wasn't working at first, so I emailed you back, but I don't know if you saw it. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. I just saw it, and I was about to send it to you when I saw that you came in here. So we have Paige Luke here on this team, this Binghamton Bearcats women's soccer team that's pretty darn good this year. Top 2 finish inside of the America East, getting ready for the postseason, and has the opportunity to at least host a postseason game. So, Paige, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course. And I've had the opportunity to have plenty of your teammates on. I think some of them mentioned you. So, to now be on the broadcast here with us this morning, what has been your favorite part of having this season with your fellow Bearcats as you head toward the postseason?
I would say my favorite part is just growing as a team together. We started off figuring things out and not really knowing the style of play we were going to play, but everyone kind of came together and took their role on really well. And I think just growing as a team throughout the season has been my favorite part.
You said people didn't really necessarily like know the system, trying to work through the system and work together, figuring out roles. Is there a time where you saw it kind of click? Was it pieces over multiple games, or was there one game where you just kind of stood on the field and thought, okay, like I feel like we finally are figuring this thing out?
Yeah, I would say it was definitely bits and pieces, but the one game for me was when we played Syracuse and our press was just working really well. That's one thing we worked on this season is being a pressing team throughout the whole game if possible. And Syracuse at one point they couldn't get out of their like goal kick. We kept just forcing them backwards. So I was like, okay, everyone really understands that like their role in this press, and I think that's when I was like, we're gonna be really good.
And you mentioned that game against Syracuse. To play Syracuse, just what that does. I mean, I think that people forget, and it's a big part of working with Binghamton, that an hour south of Syracuse there is another Division I institution, a Division I institution that won multiple championships in the spring and now trying to win a championship in the fall. When you have that game against Syracuse and you have the opportunity to showcase just an hour away, what did that game overall mean to you beyond what you just said?
The game meant a lot to me, especially because Syracuse is an hour from my hometown, so a lot of my family was able to go, which they can't normally do. So that game's always really special to me, and it's also really cool seeing our school compete with an ACC school. I think that like we go into it a little nervous every year, but with a lot of like, we're also very excited because it's just awesome to get the opportunity to compete against an ACC school, and being able to tie them is just really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, is that your favorite game of this season so far, or do you have another game that sticks out to you that has been your favorite outing at this point?
I thought I really did like the Syracuse game because of the competitiveness I saw throughout every single person on our team. And yes, we're always competitive, but I feel like that game always brings out like a really, really different side of our team, which so I think that might be my favorite. Or the other one would be Colgate because we battled back from like it was 3-2 games and it was back and forth with goals. So I thought it was really good to see us stay focused and get the job done.
You know, I've been speaking with your teammates throughout the season as well, and it's having this conversation of you have this many victories, you've tied this, you're not losing. And there was a point where I was speaking about an 8-1-3 team, and just seeing what you've been able to do as time has gone on, that conversation of winning or tying, not allowing yourselves to lose, that's only continued. And so what is it, like you said, I mean, the team started clicking pieces at a time, but now we're looking at 10-1-4. We're looking at a series of, you know, the first two wins, Lehigh and St. Bonaventure, the loss to Monmouth. Since then, a win over Marist, a win over George Washington, a tie with Syracuse, 0-0, then the win over Colgate, the tie with Cornell, win over UMBC, win over Bryant University, then the tie with NJIT, the win over Maine, the win over UMass Lowell, the win over Albany, the tie with New Hampshire. I mean, we haven't seen this team on the losing side of things since August 24th, and it's almost November. Bring me into what this season has been like to live in these moments with your teammates.
I mean, to be honest, I haven't really fully processed how long it's been since we've lost. I think like the season flies by so quick that it looks like it's a long, like obviously it is a long time when you look at it, but from my point of view, I'm like, I feel like Monmouth was literally yesterday. So, yeah. I mean, it's just like so rewarding because in preseason, everyone was putting in their best effort, and you would see girls staying after practice, even after we just had double sessions and working so hard, and seeing like us get rewarded for that is just really cool, and hopefully that this losing streak doesn't end soon.
Well, and like you said, all the double sessions, all that effort, all that work, coming in better conditioning, just being in a better position. I mean,
Yeah.
people see the game in front of them, they see the match, but they don't see all that work. Like you said, it's great to see things paying off. Just how proud you are, not only of yourself, but of your teammates for all the work that was done in the off season that has obviously come through during this season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I'm really proud of everyone because last season we kind of had not an issue, but I feel like we were just slow to figure things out. But this year, everyone came in fit. Everyone knew that if we come in fit in preseason, we don't have to focus on running. We can focus on the soccer component. And like just seeing every single person on the team understand that that's what they had to do, and everyone did it was just, it's just really awesome and happy. It made me happy.
Why do you feel like everybody just came through? I mean, this is personal responsibility at its finest. This is being structured, disciplined. When you all come in and you see each other, you don't know where everybody's at. So, I mean, why do you feel like this year everyone took it upon themselves to say, hey, when I'm home and I'm away from the team, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to be ready? Why do you think everybody had that responsibility that they really just locked in on this year?
I think first last season it was kind of a hard loss versus UNH, and I think that really lit something under everyone to be like, we don't want that to happen again. And I also think that our coaches put a heavy emphasis on conditioning this year. So that was also something that, I mean, they always really focus on conditioning, but this year was more like, if you come in fit, then we will focus more on soccer. So like preseason, we didn't really have to run that much because everyone came in fit. So I think knowing that we could focus on the team and getting to our goal quicker instead of conditioning, everyone knew that that's what we had to do.
Yeah, and you came in and the season's been absolutely amazing all the way up to this point. We know that there is one more game before we get into the postseason, and that is on October 26th on Sunday at 1 p.m., and it is Senior Day. Just what this day is going to mean to you, and just this moment to be in front of the fans once again right before the America East semifinals.
I'm really excited for this day. First, just to, honor the seniors. We wouldn't have been here without them. They're amazing leaders on and off the field. And we have 2 seniors right now who are injured with season-ending injuries. So just to be able to show how much we are here for them and respect the fact that they're still putting their best effort into the team while going through such a major injury. I'm just really excited to be able to show them that respect. And yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. It's home game on a Sunday. I think it'll be good. Good vibes. Really excited.
You seem very mellow, Paige. Are you typically mellow or not?
I would say so.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Just it seems like it's like the calm before the storm of what's coming up here this weekend. I do want to let you know this, Paige, before we bring on your coach. I do want to let you know that this is my official birthday edition of the broadcast. So I appreciate the fact that I get to spend my birthday representing a team that has been incredible this year. Awesome. There's not enough adjectives to describe it, but covering this team all the way through from before the season started to now, I appreciate not only you, but all of your teammates for the work that you have done, that I get to, on my birthday, talk about a 10-1-4 Binghamton team that's going to be able to host a semifinal game.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So we're going to play some rapid fire right before we bring Neel on. So let's have some fun here. We're going to have 2 questions apiece. Could be anything. Doesn't have to be soccer. You get to ask the first question, and then I'll ask, and we'll go back and forth. What is your first rapid fire question for me, Paige?
Oh, gosh. How did you start this podcast?
I started broadcasting, and to me, it's all the same because I've been internet, been traditional radio, TV, internet TV, and most people, their television is now YouTube TV, which is streamed. So, for me, it started at 5 years old on a word processor, which was a typewriter that had a screen on it. And I love telling stories. I love sports. I love bringing people together. I love seeing people happy. I think sports is a place where a lot of people go to get away from all of the monotony and the craziness and the negativity. So, I wanted to be in a place where I could hopefully brighten up people's spirits every day and help them to smile and help people like yourself to know that you're appreciated and respected. And I just love telling people stories, and I love putting the spotlight on other people. So.
Wait, you just cut out this last.
I said I love putting the spotlight on other people. So.
Love that.
My question back to you, Paige. What is the single greatest accomplishment that you've had in your life on or off the field, in your opinion?
Relating to soccer, I would say the greatest accomplishment was recovering from ACL surgery, because that was the hardest year of my life, but it was also the most rewarding year. So I would say that.
Yeah. And I remember that. And I'm so very happy that you're on the field and getting to do the thing that you love right now. So I'm hoping nothing but good things from all that adversity that you went through. What is of course, what's your last question for me?
What is your most memorable broadcasting event that you've had?
That's a good question. That's a good question. There's so many. There's so many. God's been great. I would say, what is my single most memorable broadcasting moment? I would probably have to say the first broadcast that I ever did, which was MU Courtside at Marywood University, where I got to host and do color commentary and play-by-play. So I would say that, because it started my career in November of 2003. Yeah. And then I would also say that the first time I got my show outside of being in college, when I got to say for the first time ever, welcome to the Dan Tortora show, which is what it was called at the time. So welcome to the Dan Tortora show on ESPN 630, 1240, and 96.1 FM. So probably those two. And starting my own company at 26 years old. So I would say that. All right, Paige, my last question for you. If you were to play a prank on your teammates, which teammate would you choose to play the prank with you? Who do you think would be the best prankster to work with? And who would you play a prank on?
I would play the prank with Sam Allen.
Okay.
And I would play the prank on Becca Kessler.
Okay. So why did you pick Sam to work with, and why did you pick Becca to work against?
I'm just thinking about Sam. I would say I picked Sam because she's like probably one of the funniest people I've ever met, and some things she does is just like, you just sit there and laugh at her. I just feel like she'd come up with a good prank.
Okay.
And I do it on Becca because Becca's very like, we call her Becky because she's very like strict and in line. So I just think it would be funny to like mess with that.
Okay. So, and talking to Becca over these, I think last year, it would be interesting to see you play a prank on Becca. Yeah. So I would definitely look forward to seeing what this would all look like in good fun. I was a prankster in college, so that's why I had to ask. So
I'd also do it on Becca because she ruined our morning one day on April Fool's, so I need to get back at her for that.
Okay. She ruined your morning. All right.
Oh, it was so bad. So bad.
Okay. All right. Well, Becca, be on alert at some point here. Hopefully you're not seeing this and it's a pleasant surprise. But Paige Luke and the Binghamton University Bearcats women's soccer team has a senior day this weekend. Go and see them at Binghamton University Sunday, October 26th at 1 p.m. and then come back to see them again for the semifinals of the America East with their top 2 finish inside of the conference. Paige, happy to have you on the field. And last year, from talking with your teammates about them being sad and upset and missing you, to this year talking about you doing your thing and being on the field and having an opportunity to bring some awesome history to Binghamton. It's been a great story. I look forward to the chapters continuing to be written into this book, and I'll look forward to talking with you and your team soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. That coming from Paige Luke here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. And very happy to have Paige here. Happy that we were able to bring her in for a few minutes because we were having a little issue there with Zoom for whatever reason. So Zoom has been a little delicate lately, and I have no idea why. So happy to have her on Zoom and happy to be able to bring her in. And we're going to work on bringing in the next special for the Bearcat Breakroom in this double dose today, and that is to have Neel Bhattacharjee, the head coach of the Binghamton University Bearcats women's soccer team, joining me here where sports meets life. So Binghamton University well represented every Tuesday in what we call Bearcat Time in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Binghamton University, and Neel Bhattacharjee is going to be coming into the room here in just a moment. So as soon as we see his video get set, which we have here, we're going to be bringing him in. And so I am honored and privileged, as always, to have Neel Bhattacharjee here with me. I still remember our first conversation, which happened right out there on a field at the CNY Family Sports Center in Syracuse, New York, as we both call that home. And now I get to talk with Neel Bhattacharjee in a season that I just told Paige was just talking about a team that was going into their season hoping that they would do good things. Then a team that was winning. Then a team that continued winning. Then a team that was 8-1-3. Now a team that's 10-1-4. The last 12 matches, we have seen this team tie or win. And there has not been a loss since the third match of the season against Monmouth. So all types of congratulations are in order, but if I know this guy, I know that he's going to tell me no congratulations because the games still have to be played. So Neel, how are we doing today?
Great, Dan. Good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure to be on, and appreciate the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate the patience as we were trying to figure out Paige here on the Zoom side of things, but we were able to pull her in for a few minutes. And I want to start with that. You know, I mean, teammates in recent history were talking with me about how much they miss Paige because she was out with the ACL. And now I get to talk with Paige being on the field and enjoying it and her fight back and everything she's been able to do. So what does it mean to have Paige with you?
I mean, it's so much in terms of our play because of the work rate that she brings, how we like to press as a unit, the amount of ground that she covers, obviously the production that she has, being the leading points getter in the conference with the goals and the assists. Just recently named Offensive Player of the Week for the goals that she scored against Albany. She's having a terrific season with one more game left. You know, I think she's definitely going to be in the mix for all conference honors and things like that, with one more match still for her to produce. But, you know, she's doing great, and she's just an inspiring story. I think that's probably the most impactful part about Paige, you know, in terms of, you know, what she did as far as coming back from an injury, how she did it, and the time she did it, you know, in a safe manner, of course. But, you know, that she put her head down. She knew there was going to be some discomfort, but she wanted to really be able to be out there and do it with her teammates, and give that kid so much credit in terms of what she did in the off season, to really be such a productive and impactful player for us on the field and off the field this year.
And you spoke about, and so well put there about Paige, and you spoke about doing things off the field to get prepared and get ready. And Paige just talked with me about that. The fact that this team was so well conditioned, and they took on that personal responsibility. When they were away from you, away from their teammates, they all decided to take that responsibility, have that discipline to come into the season and be better conditioned than last season so that they could focus on soccer. What did that mean to you, that when you hand them a packet, when you give them, hey, here's a workout regimen, this is what we'd like you to do as a staff, the fact that they came in ready to go and that they listened and that they showed that level of just taking on that responsibility. I mean, in a world, I can't say the word enough, because in a world that we live in where we want to see so many people just kind of take the onus on themselves, your team did that, which allowed you to hit the ground running in practice.
Right. So, and this is something that we've discussed in terms of the last couple of years. We've had talent, no question. And we knew we had talent this year. But were we going to put in the work and really come in prepped and ready to go? I give a lot of credit to Lori Gleason, our strength and conditioning coach, because she's the one that put so many of these plans in place. But then a lot of it, like you said, it does come down to the hands of each individual student athlete and what they're going to do during that period of time. So, the last couple of years, kind of took us a little bit to kind of build into the season in the non-conference slate, and then we would be in a good position by the time conference play came in. Whereas this year we wanted to get off right from a terrific start, and then we would be that much further ahead when we got to conference play. So I do give our kids a lot of credit. It's a difficult season that we have. With coaching men's or women's college soccer, your preseason is only 2.5 weeks. Yeah. So if you don't do that work over the off season, you can't make it up during that preseason, and then you get right into games, and then you're trying to play catch up, which is pretty much impossible to do. So I give our kids a lot of credit. Like Paige mentioned to you, and we saw from our team, just much better attitude, much better mentality, accepting, okay, this is what I have to do, playing for this program. And if we want to have the success, we have the talent, but we got to put in the work and the preparation in order for all of that to come together in August. And we've been able to do that and roll from there.
Yeah, and you and I spoke about this going into the season, a string of games in the state of New York, at Syracuse University, at home against Colgate, at Cornell. There's not a single loss in that. And we spoke about it going into it. You tied Syracuse in the ACC. You defeated Colgate, which I spoke with Paige about, in that comeback, never say die, 3-2 win. And you tied Cornell. I mean, for me to look back upon that and see, and then obviously before that, St. Bonaventure was a victory 2-1 inside of the state of New York. But when we were speaking about that string going into the season at Syracuse, Colgate at home, and at Cornell, we were looking at the opportunity in non-conference play. There's not a single loss within that. What does that mean to the team to have those games in the state of New York before they even stepped into the conference play in the America East?
Right. So that was another challenge that I gave our team. I said, listen, we're going to play a pretty hard non-conference slate. And the reason we want to do that, if we want to have success in conference, well, we need to challenge ourselves. We need to see teams that play different styles, different systems, different athletic components, and play at a good level. It doesn't really do us anything to play easy opponents, especially, when you get to the America East, where every game's going to be a tough grind in terms of trying to get a result. Our team wanted to be known for how competitive they were going to be, for how resilient they were going to be. Well, we got to put ourselves against opponents that were going to do that. Certainly games like Syracuse, Colgate, and Cornell helped within that. And we can see the benefits of that as we're now getting through conference play. And then, some of the other opponents as well. We knew Monmouth was going to be a tough opponent. And as crazy as this sounds, I'm glad we played that game, because we might have taken a loss, but we got a lot of good elements out of that game in terms of playing at that level, playing against a side that has good NCAA tournament experience, playing in another strong conference, and typically does well as one of the better mid-majors in the Northeast. So all those games, I thought, were really it was really part of a plan in terms of what we wanted to get from mid-August to the middle of September. And I think we're seeing the benefits as we're playing in the America East.
Yeah, you talked about wanting to challenge your team in non-conference play and give them that and to see what that would look like and how it would prepare them for the conference. Well, we're looking at a team that's 10-1-4 heading into senior day. We're looking at a team that in the America East, 5 wins, no losses, 2 ties. So it looks like that non-conference plan has worked for you and has prepared them for the America East. And just what you've seen from this team to even at times bend but don't break, that we have seen a string of 12 matches that are either a victory or a tie, that since that loss 2-0 to Monmouth, we have not seen this team allow anybody to best them with getting a victory over them. And that's not something that happens by accident when you string 12 straight matches together where you're not on the losing side of things. So I'd love for you to go a little bit deeper into how well this team has performed and how strong this team has been in those high octane situations.
Yeah, so certainly the schedule has played a big part in that. We've been pretty smart too in terms of when we need to rest and recover, taking care of that because the season can be challenging, especially on weeks such as this last week where you do have to play Thursday, Sunday, where you do have a bit of minimal recovery time between 2 matches versus like a week like this where you just have the 1 match on a Sunday. One thing I also knew about this team, not only were we talented coming in, but I had a pretty good sense during preseason as we came in prepared that we were also pretty deep. That we were able to get 6 kids on the field against New Hampshire and keep the game rolling to give substitution time to our 11 starters, and that plays a big part. When you're playing a tough competitive 90-minute game, that if you can go 16, 17, 18 players deep into your rotation, that certainly plays a big part. And I think a lot of this also just the mentality of our team. Like I said, I talked about the competitiveness and the resilience that they have, but also they want to be known from the outside of people seeing how unified they are, how they treat one another, how respectful they are towards their teammates and staff, and in terms of the respect that they have for everyone as individuals, as soccer players, as human beings, and you can certainly see that too. The soccer piece, that's a sport, that's just a game, but having that human element, this is without question our deepest team, but also I would say our most together team. It's been a terrific culture. These are kids that I have fun every day when I come out to practice and game day and seeing their faces because we just got great people here, and when you collectively have people that have aligned vision and shared goals, you could see the aspects of it coming out on the field too, which certainly we're getting the benefits of that this fall.
Yeah, and Neel, you talked about aligned vision and shared goals, and to have that coming in, like you said, there's only 2 weeks of preseason before you jump in, because these fall sports start so quickly when we're talking about men's and women's soccer and some other pieces. So aligned vision, shared goals can happen at times, and then it can fall off, and some people might get individualistic. Some people might be unfocused. Other things off the field might be affecting them. What is it about this team that not only have you aligned your vision, have shared goals, but it's been consistent? Because there's the, okay, let's get on the same page, but there's the get on the same page and there's the stay on the same page. How has this team stayed on the same page?
So a lot of this work went way back into the spring. We talked about, okay, let's talk about some things from fall 24. Now let's see where we are in spring 25. And they came up with their own commitment statement. There were 3 big goals that they wanted to do. They wanted to have a winning non-conference season, which we did that at 5-1-2. But a lot of that came to summer preparation and what we did in preseason, like you mentioned. The second goal was they wanted to win the regular season championship, which we'll have an opportunity to get after on Sunday against a tough Vermont side. And then the last thing was they wanted to win the America East tournament and get an NCAA berth. Which, we're set up minimally to be in the top two to compete for that going into November. So we knew, okay, those are our goals. That's what we want to do. But how are we going to go about it? So I give a lot of credit to our captains and Megan Baker, Anna Buckwalter, and Brooke Herber for them keeping us in terms of mentioning what we need to do, how we need to stay together. And then also within our commitment statement, we talked about our goals, but we don't really talk about those too much. Really, we talk about our daily commitments. So what's the level that we need to be at? How do we hold each other accountable? What are the recovery pieces that we need to do? How does everyone understand their role? How does everyone understand each other's roles and the responsibilities and the contributions that they bring to the team? How are we making sure that we're good teammates to one another? Those are the things that we do work on day to day. And as long as we do that, we know we're going to be in a good spot. And if we feel like we're ever departing from that, I think we've done a good job this season in a couple rare moments that, okay, hey, this is creeping in a little bit. Let's address it. Let's make sure we're in a better spot for it. Yeah. If there's a setback, we're not going to let it hold us back, but we are going to learn from it and be better from it. And I think this team has done an exceptional job at that, and that's that's been a big reason why we've had success this fall.
Yeah, and this is when we see in soccer, how quickly something can shift, and when a goal is scored, that response, just your overall team response, offensively, defensively, your goalkeeper, and just how you've seen this team when those moments of adversity hit. How tangible is it that, like you said, from your leadership and whatnot, that you see this team not get shaken, not get rattled, and to be able to turn around and get it done, like I spoke about with Paige in the Colgate game, which was 3-2 in a victory?
Yeah, these guys, they basically just roll up their sleeves and they get to work. So if an unfortunate situation comes up, somebody steps up. We have had a couple injuries, and the mantra within our program, okay, well, that person will work on their recovery and we'll support them, but then the next person in that position has to be ready to go. So we've been able to do that. When we were down to Colgate, 2-1, we knew there was some work to be done, and we did it. Same thing. We were down a goal against NJIT and had to work back to get a goal. And so, I don't think this team really gets rattled, or there might be some teams outside of here that, okay, well, this person's injured, or this thing didn't go our way, or this game time changed, and now we got to do this later. And it's there are teams that can get on focus with things like that, whereas this team, okay, we deal with it, we move on, we can control what we control, and then we know we're good enough to overcome it. It's a great mentality for them to have.
Yeah, and before I let you go, like you said, this is a huge senior day. The top two teams in the America East, yourselves, Binghamton, and of course the University of Vermont. You have Vermont on senior day. This will decide. We know you're going to be in the top two, but this will decide who the top seed is. Just what it means for it to all come down, because the schedule gets made before the season, but to now know that Binghamton, Vermont, in Binghamton this Sunday at 1 p.m. on October 26th will decide who the top team is in the America East postseason.
Yeah, not too much of a surprise as we were kind of seeing the season roll along. Got a lot of respect for Vermont. Chrissy Lefebvre has done a terrific job in terms of leading that program. So it's great. This will kind of have a playoff feel to it already, in terms of, what could be at stake as far as vying for regular season championship. And, we want to do that. And I can't think of a better way to honor our seniors than to put in a great performance. These seniors, they've already won 2 regular season championships in their first 3 years, and now have a chance to get their third. So to Brooke Herber, Devin Lillis, unfortunately they did have season-ending injuries, but they will be coming back for a 5th year next year. And then also to Maddie O'Sullivan, Lauren Clark, and Allison Fowler. Everything that they've been able to do and contribute to this program. I know all of us want to put in a great performance to have an opportunity to call ourselves regular season champions, but also really we can't think of a better way to honor our seniors than to continue to win at home, where we've been 6-0-0, and hopefully call ourselves regular season champs if we put in a good performance.
So I'm going to ask you this, Neel. I'm going to put myself on the spot. This is my birthday show, and so I'm celebrating my birthday with you. I'm going to ask you this. So would you rather have me this Sunday, October 26th, for Senior Day, or would you rather have me for the America East semifinals on Thursday, November 6th at 5 p.m.?
Oh, that's a hard choice. I mean, the answer is yes to both of them. So well, let's, you know what, let's say the semifinal.
Okay.
And because yeah, we'd love to have whatever support, good omens we could have that night to hopefully carry us through. So we know both matches are going to be very competitive. There's no easy matches now at this point. So yeah, we'd love to have you at either one, whatever works in your schedule, Dan, and wish you the best on your birthday.
Well, thank you, and you will see me very soon. And I knew you were going to say both. So with that being said, Neel Bhattacharjee, the head coach of the Binghamton University Bearcats women's soccer program, having a fantastic season, has Senior Day coming up this Sunday, October 26th at 1 p.m. Go and support the team, support all of the seniors. Of course, those that are also going to be returning next year, and our prayers for them on a healthy and speedy recovery. And of course, very much excitement going into this game against Vermont with everything on the line and the postseason after that. So Neel, thank you for the work that you do. It's great to see a coach such as yourself put in all that preparation and see the payoff from that. I know you're just getting started, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Pleasure as always. Enjoy the birthday, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good, Neel. Thank you. Have a good day. Coming from Neel Bhattacharjee here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. And so I knew he was going to say both games. Now I got to figure out what I can do in here, because I know my schedule. I know October 25th, I got a family thing going on, but October 26th, that's that's an open opportunity. And then, of course, the playoffs coming up. So looking forward to getting back down to Binghamton very soon. And I'm going to see Binghamton at the Dome on November 3rd, where Binghamton men's basketball and Syracuse men's basketball will start off their season against one another. And that game will be in the Dome on Monday, November 3rd, which is coming up in just a couple weeks here, which is crazy to think of that. But that will be up here in less than 2 weeks. So excited to see that, and definitely excited to see everything that Binghamton is doing on the soccer field. And of course, just much respect to the women's soccer team, the men's soccer team, to everybody that's working hard in these fall sports heading in to the postseason. Got a lot of love for Binghamton University, and I love the fact that I get to say here on my birthday that my company, Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of Binghamton University and all of their sports. So shout out to all the student athletes then, now, and in the future, and to all the coaches then, now, and in the future, and of course to their fearless leader, Eugene Marshall. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When I come back, the ingredients to success topic, proudly presented by Avicolli, is the value of a day, right after this. And now a message from Myers Creek Brewing Company, with locations at their Cazenovia Farm Brewery, Syracuse Inner Harbor Tap Room, and soon-to-be Lake Placid Tap Room.
Well, I think first and foremost, the Feldmeyer family and our team are extremely passionate about what we do. We care very much about what we do. The Feldmeyer family is always investing. Our taproom management team, our brew management team, our marketing management team, and all of the team members that get after it every day, they leave it on the field. They put their heart and soul into it. I know for a fact that everyone that works at Myers Creek wants to be there, and we want them to be there. We want them to feel good about their job. And again, if you've never been to a Myers Creek, especially to the brewery, I want your eyes to open really big. I want you to see how big of a brand this is. I want you to see where we're going. The sky is the limit, and I feel very proud of that, and I'm very excited about that. When you think of designing a menu for a brewery, it's kind of open to a lot of different interpretations. You can do American, you can do Asian, you can do Italian, and you just have to find, how that meets that pub style dining experience, that gastropub vibe. And I think it's super fun for us because obviously we know that, everyone in the world's going to sell a pizza or a burger or a french fry, but what can we do to be different? And what can we do to be true to who we are? We are a brewery, a brew pub. So the flavor profiles are kind of all over the place. And I think it's super cool that we have a massive smoker at the brewery in Cazenovia, and we smoke a lot of our products. A delicious smoked turkey. We have barbecue ribs on Sundays. From a pulled pork sandwich to a chicken wing, you go to the Inner Harbor and you go to the Kaz location and you'll find similarities in the menu, but also things that are a little different and also kind of fit those different demographics or different communities, and also hopefully just drive you to try every tap room that we have open at some point, because you get a little something different at each one. We understand how hard it is to, work every day and get after it every day, and when you're done at the end of your day, you want to go out and put your feet up in a good ambiance and good environment. So we take pride in that. We make sure that everyone knows that they're very much valued to us.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. It's time for us to jump into the ingredients to success. Here, proudly presented by Avicolli's Restaurant. Avicolli's is on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, and it is our home of all of our Liverpool athletic broadcasts. Once a month, you find us on site, on location, and we also feature things like Liverpool alum Bryce Mills, who is out there doing his thing as a professional boxer. He's got a big time match coming up, and I'm very excited for that here in October, and looking forward to talking with him soon. So, the ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli's, at the place where we have our Liverpool broadcasts every month. Liverpool High School is right down the road from Avicolli's. You could stand at the corner of Wetzel Road and Route 57 and literally look and see Liverpool High School within walking distance of Avicolli's, which is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, as well as drinks, catering, takeout, delivery. Call 315-622-5100. And, of course, you can order online at myavicollis.com. Today's topic, the value of a day. We got to appreciate our days, folks. Okay? Today, I'm celebrating my birthday, right? And I love my birthday. Some people get to their birthday and they're like, oh man, I want to talk about it. I'm a year older, blah, blah, blah. Celebrate your birthday. Because every day that God wakes you up is a day that you have to enjoy. Kiki said, happy birthday. Thank you. I think that's my first official happy birthday from the United Kingdom. So thank you for that, Kiki. I appreciate that. Making some history here today. But to be able to have another day, another breath, another moment in your life is a blessing. My grandmother was almost 101 before she went back to the Lord. And she celebrated that. She loved her birthday. She celebrated every day. And I can't thank her enough for the example that she set for me. So, and will always set for me. Because she lives on. And I love her so very much. Johnny said, I'm supposed to be working, but I'm sitting in my office listening to DT. Well, that's how it should be, Johnny. Every day. So make sure you do your work, but also listen. Like, don't not work, do the work, but listen as well. I'm going to be pro both. Pro you keeping your job and pro you never stop listening to the show. So, and Johnny's become a brother. We literally met with me doing an event at a restaurant that Johnny worked at. And so I did an event there. We started talking. He started listening to the show. Then we became friends. Then we became more than friends. We became brothers. His children became my nieces and my nephews. And then I got asked to be the godfather of his son Noah. And I mean, talk about the value of a day, right? That day that I met Johnny, if I didn't say hi, if he didn't say hi, if we didn't just interact and say hello to each other, then the friendship never happens. The connection as brothers never happens. All these memories with the family never happen, and I don't get to be a godfather. So the value of a day, that day in Baldwinsville, New York, at a restaurant, changed my life. So never underestimate the value of a day, the value of a breath, the value of a hello, the value of an experience, because prime example right there. if Johnny and I don't say hello to a stranger, I don't have more family in my life. I don't have more memories. I don't get invited to these birthday parties and these celebrations and these awesome Christmases. And I don't have Ari. I don't have Noah. I don't have Sequoia. I don't have Dakota. I don't have Remy, Aaron, Johnny, and so on and so forth. You know, I mean, this family's been so very good to me. And none of it happens if I didn't value my day, value my experience, value my life, value the importance of a hello. So this should teach you folks. Hold the door open, say hi. Ask people how they're doing. It could just end up turning into one of the best friendships you've ever had in your life with one of the most consistent people. So the value of a day, it's showing itself right now. It's my birthday. You know, I'm doing what I love and I'm loving what I do. I wake up and I thank God for my life, but I've been so bad at it because I wake up, I look at my phone, and then I thank God for my life. And God, I want to tell you right now in front of everybody that I'm sorry because I should wake up and I should not grab my phone. I should wake up and say, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. Thank you for putting breath in my lungs. Thank you for giving me legs that I can use and arms that I can use and a brain that I can use and a heart that I can use. Thank you for allowing me to do what I love and love what I do for a living. Thank you for letting me be a big kid. Thank you for giving me all these years, for giving me enough money to put food on the table, take care of my bills, and get to do the things I love to do, to get to have fun. Thank you for being an only child, yet I have a ton of brothers and sisters now, that my nieces and my nephews are in my life, that my godson is in my life, that I have experienced love in so many different ways, including having my daughter, Lily, that I love so very much. And I tell her all the time, if you weren't a dog and you were a human being, I'd love you the same. Because the soul that God put in Lily is a soul that you could put in any being and they would mean the same to me. So I'm happy to have my dog, Miss Lily, and happy to have my daughter, Miss Lily. One and the same. So the value of a day, I get to be here hanging out with you. I have my own studio. I have my own office. I get to travel around the world doing what I love and loving what I do. Whenever I go to the airport, they say business or pleasure. I say both because God has allowed that in my life. I am young at heart. I am young in mind. I'm working to be young in body too. And man, to be celebrating my birthday right after covering New York Comic-Con and it's considered a job. Going to Epic Universe and covering the opening of the new Universal Park and it's considered a job. Going to Disney and riding rides and eating food and it's considered a job. Watching basketball and football and volleyball and soccer and so on and so forth games and it's considered a job. Playing Pig with Lazarus Sims yesterday and it's considered a job. Shooting hoops with Brandon Trish and it's considered a job. I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams because God has put value in all of my days simply by waking me up. I love you, God, and I could not ask for a better life. So this tribute is to you. Thank you for waking me up, and thank you for giving me a life beyond anything that I could have prayed for. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so thankful to be here. The value of a day, man, when you have the friends that I do and the family that I do, you know, the messages that I've received, I can't thank you all enough for the happy birthday messages that have been coming through and just getting to see them here this morning. It's beautiful, and I will respond to each of these individually, I promise. You know, I'm looking at just the kindness, Our Lady of Pompeii putting out a happy birthday here in a group that keeps all of us alumni together. Scott Schaefer, former Syracuse head coach, with a happy birthday. Cody, my guy from Myers Creek, he's been wonderful in my life. John Hunt, you know me. He sent me the Justice League wishing me a happy birthday. You know, Valentina, who's been so sweet over the years. Bud, for all the words that I've gotten. You know, people I went to Christian Brothers Academy with, sending me a happy birthday. My guy Jason Leone, John Granquist, Ross. Ross was the first one to wish me a happy birthday with Chris. Well, Chris Heidel was the first, and then Ross wishing me a happy birthday. And, you know, right at midnight, Antoinette, you know, my extended family in the New York City area, wishing me a happy birthday. You know, just seeing this, my guy Seamus Shanley, Larry Cathcart, who's been a supporter of my show, is a total stranger, and now I know the family. Miss Miriam, Ross's mom, can't thank you enough. You know, seeing a message here from Jimmy Morgan, Chris App, that I went to school with forever, you know, Elvin Brown with the happy birthday. I mean, the Forgione family, Carol Welch Jones, seeing her message today meant a lot to see that. I mean, I can't. My Aunt Jeannie, my other mom, my Aunt Mary. My mom called me right at 8:37. My alarm went off because I have 8:37 on my phone all the time because that's the time I was born. Literally, my alarm went off and it didn't even go. It was like, Bennett, and my mom called. So like literally immediately at 8:37, my mom called. The Fitzgibbon family, my cousin Derek, you know, Amy, Sam Raimi, love her. My family in Spain sent me a happy birthday. Maureen, I can't thank you enough. I mean, your love has always been there, and I appreciate that. You know, I'll always feel connected to Maureen. She's got a good heart. She's a good person. And, I mean, seriously, the coaches that have sent out messages, like, of course, Gene Marshall, Paul Gangemi, my coach as a kid for basketball, Adam, you know, I honestly can't say thank you enough. And I'll continue throughout the day. And like I said, I will thank you all individually. You know, you can count on that. I've already started to respond to some of these messages. So the value of a day, you know, be happy for your breath. Be happy for your time. Remind yourself of who you are. If you feel like you've gone off track, it's not too late. If God woke you up and you feel like you're not yourself, you went off track, you need to do better, then take the next breath. Do it. Take the next moment. Do it, right? Don't think about it. Do it. Like, it's never too late to get back on track. Don't think that you're too far gone that you can't come back. You can always come back. You can always make it right. So don't quit. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep believing. Have that faith. Have that tenacity. Have that desire. And just get after it, folks. Get after it. Get after life. Celebrate life. I've spent so much time worrying and stressing, caring about what other people say about me, what other people think of me. Just don't take it from somebody who's lived it. It don't change anything. It doesn't put any years back on your life. There's a Bible quote that my Bible's open up to, and it talks about it literally says, do not worry. And there's the statement of, if worrying cannot add an hour to your life, if it can't do that simple of a thing, then why worry? You know, if worrying cannot add an hour to your life, if it can't do that simple of a thing, then why would you spend any time worrying? And God calls adding an hour to your life a simple thing. That shows you the power of God. Most people would love to, on their deathbed, add an hour to their life. And God says, that's simple. That's easy. And worrying can't even do that easy of a task. We think easiness is picking up a pen, right? Writing with a pen, blinking our eyes, we think is easy, right? Taking a breath, right? We think that's easy. God says adding an hour to your life That's easy. That's so easy. And worrying can't even do that. It can't. So if worrying cannot add an hour to your life, why worry? Because if it can't do that, it can't do anything. And if worrying can only harm you but never help you, why care? They said stress can kill you just as fast as a bullet. I've spent a lot of life stressing, worrying. You know what my best friend Isaac said to me? He said to me, I said, what am I supposed to do, man? This person said, sounded like they were open to doing an interview. They asked me to get in touch with their agent. And now their agent isn't setting it up. I'm so sick and tired of middlemen. This isn't the first time I've dealt with this, Isaac. He said, Dan, if you want to do an interview with them and they don't want to set it up, it's their loss. They don't get to talk to you. They don't get to have that experience. Move on. They're not the only person in the world. Somebody's going to say yes. Somebody will appreciate it. Let the people that don't want to appreciate the experience. And he turned the table. Because I've spent my whole life saying the person that I want to interview, that's the person of value, not me. And Isaac said, no, if they don't want to do the interview with you, they miss out on that opportunity. They miss out on that chance. Give yourself some credit that you're a good experience. You're a positive thing. It's not just about who you're interviewing, but they get to be interviewed by you. To have your unique style, your care, your concern, your personality. Give yourself some credit. So I'm going to say that to you folks today. Give yourself some credit. Okay? That being loved by you is special. Getting a phone call from you, a text from you is special. Laughing with you is special. Smiling with you is special. Going on vacation with you is special. Start giving yourself some credit that God looks at you. He knows all of his children. If God knows the name of every star, think about how important you are to him. He knows the name of every star, every place of every star in the universe. He knows where you are. If he knows the stars, he knows you. And if he knows you, he values you. And if he values you, you have importance. And if God loves talking to you, laughing with you, smiling with you, even crying with you, he loves being with you, then give yourself some more credit. That when you step into the room, it's, oh, Sheila's there, Stacy's there, Tim's there, Bob's there, Joe's there, Katrina's there, right? Megan's there. James is there. Paul, Peter, Mark, Teresa, right? Kate, Carl, Stephanie. When you walk into the room, let that be a good thing. Be happy. Be grateful. And stop caring what other people think and other people say. What did Fran Brown say yesterday? To treat life like an orchestra. That when you're the conductor, you have your back to the crowd and you're facing your team, and your job is to just orchestrate, right? Your job is to take all of those people that are playing instruments and to guide them. And your back is to the crowd. It's just about you. It's about, let's take what I taught you and let's do this together and let's make beautiful music, right? The band isn't looking at the crowd. The conductor isn't looking at the crowd. It's just about being together. Whether the crowd cheers or boos, it's about playing the music of your heart. So on my birthday, that's the best advice that I can give to myself, is you spent 3 decades worrying about what other people think. In this 4th decade, that's done. It's dead. Let it die. Let it be dead right now. Let this be your finest moment. Let this be your best chapter. The best part of your life is right now, because you're alive to live it. It's the only part of your life that you can affect. The past is over. The future you don't know. But right here, your words and your actions, you have control. You can make a difference. My grandmother had dementia. She went through 3 bouts of cancer. Her body was older. And that woman was still herself at just shy of 101. Her spirit was stronger than her body, her mind, and her heart. Her spirit uplifted her body when she was tired. Her spirit kept her mind strong even with dementia. Her spirit helped to keep her heart beating and helped to keep her in rooms when other people would have given up. Don't be a person that gives up. Let your spirit be your guide. Let that thing that God put in you be your guide. Be a light. Appreciate your day. Appreciate your time. We just hit over 200 broadcasts here in 2025. I broadcast somewhere around at least 250 broadcasts a year, which means that every 4 years I hit 1,000 broadcasts. We weren't live streaming on we've been on Podbean since 2011, but we weren't live streaming on Podbean. We started doing that recently, and we hit 1,000 hours of live streaming on Podbean. We hit 1,000 plus listeners in our live streams. I just got a happy birthday in our Podbean live stream from the United Kingdom. In my time broadcasting, we've been on the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, North and South, East and West in the United States. We've had people listen and or watch from Canada, from Mexico, from South America, from the United Kingdom, from Russia, from China, from Italy, from Spain, from the Middle East. I believe from Africa. I think we've had people from Egypt. We've had people from Sweden. I think Switzerland. I know Sweden. From South Korea. From France. I can't thank you all enough. Like, how could you not value a day when God lets a 40-year-old man feel like he's 4 years old, and his job feels like running around on a playground every day, smiling, looking up at the sky, and thanking God? My job is to have fun. My job this week was to play basketball with Lazarus Sims. Was to go to practice and hang out with Amani Free. That's my job. My job is to go watch a basketball practice and to shoot hoops. And you know what? When I was playing basketball at Game Point Sports yesterday on 211 South Center Street in East Syracuse, that I think everybody should go to because there's nothing like it. Yesterday on the court, just shooting, I finally felt like I was getting back to being me. I felt like I was finally getting back to being me, that a part of me was falling into place again. Because I used to play all the time. That was an early birthday gift. Playing with Lazarus was an early birthday gift. Hitting like at least a half court shot from the right wing back, with the Bryan and Stratton women's basketball team watching, that was an early birthday gift. A hug from Amani, early birthday gift. Talking to Isaac, early birthday gift. Hanging out with Jimmy at Pizza Man yesterday, and Michael and Jordan, early birthday gift. My hugs that I got from them, early birthday gift. My mom said, I have a birthday week. So she took me out on Sunday, early birthday gift. Took me out on Monday, early birthday gift. I have no idea what's coming today, but I know it's coming from my mom and dad and Lily, and I know it's going to be beautiful. Lily, when I woke up this morning, I looked at her and I put my hand out and she touched my hand with her paw and she just looked at me. was like, happy birthday, Dad. Early birthday gift. Birthday gift. I can't wait to get off the air so I can just celebrate my birthday. But then I don't want to get off the air because I get to celebrate my birthday. There's people that go to work on their birthday that are like, man, I can't believe I have to work on my birthday. Can't believe I have to go to school on my birthday. Can't believe I have to take a test on my birthday. My going to work on my birthday is doing what I love. So it's like, as much as I want to get off the air, I don't want to get off the air because I'm spending my birthday with you. I'm spending my birthday telling you that you can do it. You can make your work your play. You can feel retired traveling the world while you're working. Your leisure can also be your work. You can do it all. You can have it all. Believe in God, believe in yourself, work hard, stop caring what people think and what they do and who they are, because that's them. That's over there. That's them. Okay? If we treated every day like this is our last day, we're going to die today. This is it. World's ending today. We wouldn't have that stress in our belly. We would have that, like, you can either have stress in your belly to weigh your heart down like a rock, or to weigh you down like a rock, or you can have love and appreciation in your heart and thanks be to God that you can rise up. Every day you can feel like you're lifted off the ground, or you can feel like you're about to sink. When you care about what other people think, you're always going to sink. Because you're going to have a big ego or you're going to be depressed. How do you value a day? Thanking God, knowing that it didn't come from you, it came from Him. There's something bigger than you. To know you're important, you're a twinkle in His eye, and He loves that twinkle. He cares about it. He knows you like He knows every single star. The value of a day. Chase your dreams. Go after what you love. Ask that person out. Live in that place. Go on that vacation. Chase that job. Create that job if it doesn't exist. Put value in your day. Stop waiting for people to put value in your day. Put value in your own day. Make your day beautiful. Love your day. Stop stressing. Stop worrying. Stop talking about it. My mom tells me all the time, she goes, when you talk about it, you make it worse. Things are going to bother you. Things are going to stress you out. Things are going to be tough. But you don't want that sitting in your stomach. You don't want that, like, who wants to have pain? Right? I told myself a long time ago, if my stress finally manifests itself physically, I'll stop. And I was 14 years old. And I was so stressed out in it, like my body literally had pain in it, just hitting in different places. And now I'm 40 years old and I'm like, man, I didn't listen to myself because I let stress be in my body, bothering the heck out of me. I'm not doing that anymore. That's not following me into this decade. That's not following me into the rest of my life. I'm going to be happy and excited and joyful and appreciative and thankful. I'm putting God first, and I'm just going to enjoy life. I'm going to enjoy life because I get to do what I love and love what I do. I get to have fun. Like my cousin David, who I share my birthday of October 21st with, shout out to David Montgomery, my cousin and my brother. He sent me Snoop Dogg dancing. That might be one of my top birthday messages so far, definitely. So thank you, Tito, putting up the picture. Mary putting up the collage. Like, we're going to enjoy life, man. I'm going to value my breaths. I'm going to value my life. I'm going to say thank you to God before I touch my phone in the morning. From here on out, I'm going to be on time from here on out to my listeners, my viewers. And yeah, It's never too late to get better. And I don't want that stress in my belly anymore. I've lived with stress most of my life, and it's done nothing but piss me off, make me sick, and take away time. And worrying, stressing, caring about what other people think and say and do, it has never once helped me. So it's done now. I love Darkwing Duck. I'm a big kid. I do what I love, and I love what I do. I am Daniel Michael Justin Tortora, and I'm not sorry about it. It's my greatest blessing. It's my greatest gift to be exactly who I am and to give that back to God. He made me. What am I going to do with what he made? Right? That's what Grandma taught me. That's what Mom and Dad taught me. That's what my grandfathers taught me. My other grandmother taught me. That's what my dogs taught me. That's what my brothers taught me, what my sisters taught me, what my nieces taught me, what my nephews taught me, what my godsons taught me. What people I've had a blessing to work with have taught me, coaches have taught me, athletes have taught me. Total strangers have taught me. The best and greatest superpower you have is to be yourself. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to David. Happy birthday to Kim Kardashian. She's October 21st. Happy invention of the light bulb day, Thomas Edison. And God bless me. The ingredients to success. Putting value in your day simply by just saying thank you to God and appreciating every breath you take. Life is great. The pizza's good at Avicolli's. Go get some. The food's good there. Go enjoy it. We're going to take another step aside. I love you all, and I'll be back on Wake Up Call right after this fast break inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios.
This is Jim Dispenza, owner of Game Point Sports Complex. You hear the same story across any sport that kids play and any sport that adults play. There's never enough places to play. That was definitely true with volleyball, definitely true with basketball. Could be cheerleading, it could be field hockey, which is what we're seeing now. Every sport has a lack of places to play, and I think Syracuse in particular is a place where it's really bad. Despite the fact that we've got a lot of athletic talent around here, we just seem to have not enough places for people to play, and they're going to different places. They're going to Rochester, they're going to, Buffalo. They're going all different places because we don't have a place here, and I felt like that should change. This was a long project from planning all the way through execution to opening the doors. A lot of work went into it, obviously, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the dream always was kids being in the gym, having a good time. And I've always felt like sports is the most unfiltered joy that you can observe with people, that people can experience, because it is fun, it is a sense of accomplishment, it's all of that wrapped into one thing. And so watching kids going up and down the court with big smiles on their faces has been just amazing, an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to years to come of that same thing. We've taken the time to invest in multiple sports, and then what we're finding is the mere fact that we have a large, clean, well-lit space has opened a lot more doors for us beyond basketball, volleyball, pickleball. Now we're having some interest from cheerleading. We've got girls field hockey coming in, and then also there's quite a bit of room for spectators. We've got bleachers, we've got benches, we've got a concession lounge where people can get food and drinks. We're going to have multiple sports going at the same time, using every square inch of this place for what it was conceived for, which is basically people to come in, have a good time in the sport that they prefer. We manage each situation differently. Everybody has different ability to afford different things. Some are bringing 10, 15 people, some are just 2 people. I've had a lot of situations where it's a father shooting around with his son, it's a mother playing pickleball with her daughter or with her son, and in those situations come up and we work with people, and that's allowed us to have groups from 2 people up to 30 people and have some flexible pricing behind it. We're an organization that is here to work with the community community any way we can. And I guess part of it is just making sure that we have the flexibility to put together a plan that makes sense regardless of the size of your group. So in order to book time, the best option is to go to our website, gamepointsports-syr.com. You can click from there and sign up for events, sign up for your own particular training, sign up for birthday parties, all of that.
Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Bryan and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Bryan and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So Canine Camp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. Canine Camp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that Canine Camp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making Canine Camp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry loving friend. Right, Lily?
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is right off at Teal Ave, open Tuesday through Saturday for 10 to 6, and on Sundays from 10 to 5. Go and see them today and enjoy all that is GG Cards and Breaks. You get to be a big kid every day that you go in. Every time you go in there, you just have that big kid experience. I've made so many friends there. I've gotten some awesome cards and just gotten to feel closer to my favorite teams, my favorite players. It's been incredible, GG Cards and Breaks. It's so much more than a store to me. It's an experience. It's a community. And it's shown me that, I'm not by myself in collecting cards. And, as an adult, that there's so many people in this community of Central and Upstate New York and beyond that love sports card collecting and go out and do it, and that it means something to them no matter how old you are. So I love the people I've met from it. I love that you've trusted me and you've gone to GG Cards and Breaks, and I just implore you to go there today. And I look forward to everything you're going to find in the boxes and packs you open on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 5. Big time shout out to Chick-fil-A. Man, this is a birthday celebration here. I've had the opportunity to work with and help be there for the open of every single one of the Chick-fil-A's in Central New York, plus the one up in Watertown. Over the years here, I was there for Chick-fil-A Cicero, Chick-fil-A Clay, Chick-fil-A Watertown, and now Chick-fil-A DeWitt. That has been a massive, massive blessing in my life. One of the only places that closes on Sunday, and it's because of God. Chick-fil-A can make a ton of money on Sunday. You can make a ton of money during football season, I'm sure, on a Sunday, but they close. They might be in an arena on a Sunday, but they're not open. So, shout out to Chick-fil-A for what they stand for. Thanks to Megan Sorber and her team. Thank you to Megan for believing in me and trusting in me to be with her and to be broadcasting with her at the opening of her location in DeWitt on the corner of Bridge and Erie. I was just talking to somebody about it yesterday. I said, I work with Chick-fil-A in DeWitt. They said, that massive brick building? I said, yes, that brick building. That place that has the double drive-through, that has the pretzel cheddar club grilled, as well as the original and the spicy that's available right now. I wanted to get it because it looks so good, and guess what? It tastes even better. Go to Chick-fil-A today for your favorites. Go for the limited time only specials that they have. Go for the shakes. And of course, the chicken's good. So head out to Chick-fil-A in DeWitt today. Let them know that DT sent you. Megan Sorber and her team doing a great job on the corner of Bridge and Erie. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody that's watched and listened over the years, including today on my birthday special, on my 40th birthday, here on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. With you Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time and beyond. Many thanks to everybody that's gone to Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. Searched us there by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT, saving us, subscribing to us, following us. Thank you for that. My Baldwinsville specials from last night are already up there. Big time thanks to Great Lakes Honda City, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Myers Creek, both locations out in the country in Cazenovia and in the Syracuse Inner Harbor, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, where you get to feel like you're at an amusement park every time you go into their store on 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool. And they're going to be moving to an even bigger location there in Liverpool by the Parkway. Big time thanks to Mother's Cupboard, where I get to have my own sandwich every day. The Q-Smack Mother, bacon, egg, and cheese inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Cut it up and have it with some syrup. Pick it up and eat it like a sandwich. 7 days a week, only at Mother's Cupboard, 3709 James Street in Syracuse. Game Point Sports Complex, where I get to feel like myself again. You know, those basketball memories. Loved being there yesterday. Can't wait to show you what that's going to look like. I have footage that I'll be sharing for Bryan and Stratton women's basketball in Amani Free's first year as the head coach of the team and first year as a head coach overall after playing D1 basketball, coming from Cicero, North Syracuse, and being a Central New Yorker native. And I get to share my Lazara Sims Who's Got Next special from Game Point Sports. Can't wait to show you that. So make sure you stay on the lookout. Pizza Man, where we were last night, having a fantastic broadcast with the Baldwinsville Bees boys soccer team with head coach Tim Skimaker, as well as their captains with Enzo and Tamer and Jonah and all the families and the team and the parents, just everybody involved. 14-2, sectionals next Tuesday, trying to win another championship. Excited for that and go a little farther. Loved my time with them, very excited for that. Shout out to Tim's father in heaven. I know he's proud of you, Tim. Keep going. God bless. And appreciate your moments with your loved ones, folks. Canine Camp Dog Daycare. Chick-fil-A DeWitt. Bryan's Landing. Canine Campground Dog Boarding. Avicolli's. We got a new video up with Chick-fil-A Cicero and the light between us. Don't miss that. With Marilyn Coral. Don't miss my all-new Bryan's Landing broadcasting at Bryan's, making linguine and clams in honor of my great aunt Sue. So check out that video of Bryan's Landing if you want to make yourself hungry. Linguine and clams, homemade there with some awesome linguine and clams and homemade garlic bread. And of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. Check out the Bobcats every month. Like I said, I got a little Bobcat special for being at practice yesterday with Miss Amani Free and the crew. So super excited for her team this year, for her, for KD, and for all of the student athletes. You know I'm always in your corner. I loved seeing you all yesterday. That was a blessing from God. So I look forward to what you got going on this season, and I'll be there supporting you. And just sending you my love. So shout out to the Bobcats, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and everything they're doing. Shout out to Mary Hawkins, Brooke Paro, to all the coaches, all the student athletes, all the alumni, and everybody to be. You can check out the Bobcats on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find the BSC Syracuse playlist. The Bobcats are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bearcats every single Tuesday like today during Bearcat Time with student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni joining the show, including with today the women's soccer team, Neel Bhattacharjee, the head coach, and Paige Luke joining me for the first time ever. Big time shout out to Binghamton and all the work they're doing with all their sports, including women's soccer, having a chance to be regular season champions this weekend on Senior Day against Vermont on Sunday, October 26th at 1 p.m. And then we know that they will at least host the semifinal game, which will be on Thursday, November 6th. At 5 p.m. in Binghamton. So looking forward to that as well, but not before Senior Day. You can find all of our content with Binghamton by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. Find our Binghamton playlist. You'll also find the Bearcats on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com and go Bearcats. The Onondaga Community College Lasers are the newest exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your lasers in what I call the Laser Lounge every single month. You'll find them every other Wednesday on the broadcast. Always great to have them here on the show every other Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Hopefully one day every Wednesday, but every other Wednesday right now. So their next time they'll be on is Wednesday, October 29th at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Can't wait to share some time with you, with them, the OCC Lasers, student athletes, coaches, and administration joining the show. You can check them out by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our OCC playlist. The Lasers are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to onondagalazers.com and go Lasers. And there's no better way to end the show than with my daughter right here with me, my little baby, Miss Lily. So have a great day, folks. For Brendan Murphy, for Neel Bhattacharjee, Paige Luke, for Avicolli's and the ingredients to success, for valuing the days that you have in your life, and for celebrating birthdays and every breath with the ones you love. I couldn't have asked for a better daughter. And her soul is beyond anything that I can ever speak of. I love you, babe. So, thanks for spending my birthday with me. Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. Watch us on TV all the time, youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT, and have over 1,900 episodes on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. For now, from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, God bless. No stress. Do your best. I got a birthday to celebrate, and I got a kid to celebrate it with. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I love you, Pop Miller, Pop Cavino, Papa Pandozzi, Grandpa Bill, Gammy, G-Mama, Mordu, Cinnamon, Shady, Sunny, Magic, and Daredevil. To all my nieces and nephews, to my godson Noah, to my brothers, to all my close friends, to all the real ones out there, to every business that's believed in me, to all of the wonderful places that have credentialed me, to all the good hearts out there, and all the kind souls. This birthday is truly special, thanks to all of you, and above all to God himself for giving me a breath 40 years ago and for letting me to keep having them. God bless y'all. Let's have a great day. God bless. No stress. Do your best. From the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, this is just a big kid getting to do big things by the grace of God. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I am constantly amazed that he lets me do what I do and have the life I have. For 40 years more, God, and 40 years on top of that, I love you. Thank you. Have a great day, folks. God bless.